What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you are not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever content like this drop. Hit that like button to make sure that we can beat up the algorithm together so we can get the message out to the ears that hear. Also hit that share button. And with that being said, family, I come to you today disappointed, but not so disappointed, because Shelia Jackson-Lee has found herself back into her seat. She has defended her seat against Amanda Edwards. And it's not that I'm not surprised. I mean, it's not that I'm surprised. It's more that I'm just so intrigued by it that they're making it seem as if she got the nomination because people came out for her because of what she does for the community on one side. But then in another article, they actually tell you why. So I'm going to play this video and then I'm going to read one of the articles. And I'm going to come back and bring you the other article.
This district is about hard work, proven service, and a commitment and passion and a love for the people.
Representative Shelia Jackson-Lee spoke in front of her supporters at her watch party last night. The latest numbers are on your screen for you right now. Jackson-Lee is currently in the lead against former Houston City Council member Amanda Edwards with 60% of the vote. Jackson-Lee was first elected to Congress back in 1995. She's currently in her 14th term in the U.S. House of Representatives, and she also currently sits on 3 congressional committees and serves as the Democratic Chief Deputy Whip. Her competitor announced that she was running for the seat when Jackson-Lee was running for mayor.
And Jackson-Lee eventually lost to Mayor John Whitmire and then decided to defend her seat. An interesting connection there. Edwards used to intern for Jackson-Lee's staff back in Washington, D.C.
I'm Stephen Goen, here in the 5th Ward, where Amanda Edwards rallied supporters overnight. Throughout her campaign, Edwards hoped to disrupt Shelia Jackson-Lee's nearly 30 years as representative for Texas's 18th congressional district. Edwards was thought to be the first real challenge in years to the Congresswoman's tenure. But for much of the night Tuesday, Edwards trailed behind Jackson-Lee by double digits. At the end of the night, Edwards instead expressed her gratitude to her supporters, her family, her donors, and campaign staff.
Now,
all right, family. So first and foremost, I just want to say this. This is, excuse me, this is more of a lesson to anybody who think they're going to be getting into politics, coming into the black community and not offering anything. Because if you was to hear that and then listen to the article that I'm about to read, which isn't from this same article. This same article is actually going to tell the truth a little bit later, but we're going to jump to a different article because I want you to see the perception that they're trying to push versus what it really is. But this is literally just a lesson to anybody trying to do what Amanda Edwards, was trying to do, which is run for a black seat or a seat that's majority black, but you have nothing for black people. You make it a point to not speak on or address black people directly. And so what ends up happening is, whether a person feels like they want to get Shelia Jackson-Lee out of there or not, they just say screw to both of them. And that's what happened here. That's exactly what happened here. And then when they say screw to both of them, the old Negroes and her white constituents, they go in there and they vote exactly how they were going to vote before, which is for the bootleg. But they're both bootlegs. But see, the difference is whether or not you were going to get an older bootleg, 30 years plus, or a brand new fresh bootleg, the new AOC bootleg, the new black face, light skinned face in a high place bootleg. Because she literally, if you go look at her campaign on her website, it literally says nothing for black people. Oh, but she didn't have no problem mentioning the illegals. So yeah, it is. I'm not surprised she lost. Because if you're not coming offering us nothing, we're not going to come out for you. And with that being said, let's get to this article, because they want you to think it's because Shelia Jackson Lee has been helping people in their community that people came out for her. But I'm going to show you that that's incorrect. So this first article comes from Houston Public Media. And it talks about Shelia Jackson Lee wins renomination, fending off challenge from Amanda Edwards. Let's get on to the nitty gritty here. Congresswoman Shelia Jackson Lee has reclaimed the Democratic mantle that she had long held in Texas' 18th Congressional District. Jackson Lee fended off a well-funded primary challenge by former Houston City Council member Amanda Edwards. The primary count showed Jackson Lee winning by a margin of 60.23% to 37.19%. So she got double the amount of Amanda Edwards. Okay. The 18th Congressional District belonged to the people of the district, Jackson Lee said. I clearly remember Amanda Edwards saying the same thing on her campaign. I remember a video. I'm going to see if I can find it and clip it in. But I clearly remember her saying those exact words. Jackson Lee said in her victory speech to supporters at Chapman and Kirby, "This is no candidate's district. This is even no incumbent's district. The district is about hard work, proven service, and a commitment and passion, and a love for the people." Jackson Lee's victory was far from a foregone conclusion. So she didn't have it in the bag, is what they're saying. Last year saw her lose the Houston mayoral contest to John Whitmire, by a lopsided margin. It was her first electoral defeat in well over 30 years. Further, an analysis of HarrisVotes.com data found that Jackson Lee barely carried her own congressional district in the mayoral runoff election by a margin of fewer than 900 votes out of more than 44,000 cast. Wow. Wow. Now watch how they spin that. All that suggests Jackson Lee was vulnerable in the primary matchup against Amanda Edwards, who began her own quest for the nomination last spring after dropping out of the mayoral contest in Jackson Lee's favor. Edwards built up a sizable war chest through 2023. By mid-February, Edwards had roughly 3 times as much cash on hand as Jackson Lee, according to federal campaign financing records. So, baby girl had the funds. She had the backing, because usually when you have the fund, you have the backing, right? So she was getting the different backers that Shelia Jackson Lee would usually get for that seat. However, she still lost. And what does that say to you? You can have all the money and none of the grassroots support, and you'll lose by default. And you'll lose by default. And is this thing going? And you'll lose by default. That's what's happening here. That's exactly what's happening here. They say we were down. They said we would. It would be a close race. But look what the people of the 18th congressional district said. Jackson Lee said. They said we were down. They said it would be a close race. Look at her feeling herself. But look what the people of the 18th district, the 18th congressional district said. Feeling herself. Because now, if you really want to look at it in the way of power, or how powerful she might just feel, right? She just beat this young lady without the backing of the people who usually back her. So what does that mean for Shelia Jackson Lee? Because she damn sure can feel cocky now, even though it was a default win. Because Amanda Edwards wasn't offering Black Americans nothing. Wasn't offering Black Houstonians nothing. Wasn't offering the Black folk anything. But more of the same and worse of what Shelia Jackson Lee had already started, because she wants to protect these migrants just like they want to bring them in. So, invaders. I mean, wipe that clean. She wants to protect these invaders. So by giving nothing, she got nothing. No one showed up for her. And in turn, Jackson Lee won by default. But let's get into the reason why they said she won, so I can get into the other article and bring it back to reality. Nevertheless, Jackson Lee's seniority and her long record of delivering help to her constituents ultimately gave her the edge she needed over Edwards. Let me restate that. Nevertheless, Jackson Lee's seniority and her long record of delivering help to her constituents ultimately gave her the edge she needed over Edwards, who campaigned largely on the message that it was time for the district to have a new leader. See, they're trying to make people believe that Shelia Jackson Lee actually does things for people, when really she's just an opportunist. She shows up. She makes sure her face is known. And if she's bringing anything, it's not directly to the people. It's to different businesses, HBCUs, and things like that. but it's not to the people. But they would like you to think that it's the people, the black grassroots came out and supported her. No, that's not what happened at all. So now we're going to jump back to the original article where we just played that video from. And it's an article from KHOU 11 News. Who won Super Tuesday? Here's who won the primary elections in the Houston area. So, I'm going to skip to the relevant part, my highlighted section here, excuse me. Now, experts tell KHOU 11 News that numbers of Tuesday night show that Democrats have more work to do if they want to have a chance. Let me restate that. Experts tell KHOU 11 News that numbers from Tuesday night show that Democrats have more work to do if they want to have a chance. What does that mean? That means that they're not getting people out. That means people are voting the couch. That means people ain't repping the way that they say that people are repping. They're not galvanizing the people the way that they say that they are. It's what that means. Is what that means. The Democrats have got to find some energy. The turnout statewide was pretty low. And if we could see that continue, then we won't find this as one of these marquee matchups that the National Democratic Party hopes they find here in Texas, says KHOU 11 political analyst Brandon Rotenhals. So what are they saying? They just said it. If they don't do something different, turnout is going to remain incredibly low. Incredibly low. So when I say Amanda lost because she didn't offer us nothing, believe when I say she lost because she didn't offer us nothing. She lost by half the percentage. Shelia Jackson Lee had 60%. She had 37%. And guess who could have put her over? Guess who could have put her over? Guess who could have took that? Because just because it says 60%, she had 37 doesn't mean that was the all of it. That wasn't the whole sum of people who's registered to vote. And that's how they know the turnout was incredibly low, because people are registered, but they didn't show up. But they did not show up. So this is a lesson, once again, to these politicians that think that they're going to come into the community and just sweet talk us, make us feel like, oh, it's time for something new. It's time. You're right. It is time for something new. So what are you going to do to prove that you're something new? What is your policy for Black Americans to prove that this is going to be something new? If not, y'all can fight it out. And whatever be will be. And that's what we're seeing here. Not that Shelia Jackson Lee got re-nominated because she goes out and help people. It's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. And as I told her when she came here, as I told Catherine Clark, the House Whip, as I told Ron Reynolds, the representative, and Senator Boris, if you guys do not offer real policy for Black Americans, you guys will lose. There's no way around it. No one's going to come and save you. The only people that can do it is the Black community. But by the time you do actually bite the bullet and say, you know what, maybe we should do something, it's going to be way too late. It's going to be way too late. We got our brothers and sisters out here on the forensic right now, like this brother here.
Because I can yell. And I'm angry. That's why.
I hear you. I do hear you.
So why can't I get in the building?
Because you can't get in right now. No one can go in.
Why? Where's the mayor at? Y'all, this town's a sham, yo. It's all about money. It's a money grab. Y'all don't give a about the motherfuckers that was born and raised here. Y'all raised the rich so high. Can't afford to live here, but y'all gonna bring some other motherfuckers here? That doesn't add up. It doesn't make no sense. None. I'm homeless. I work a full-time job, 40 hours, and can't pay to live here. How the are y'all gonna bring somebody else here?
And also, we got our sister here who gave no F's about anything, stood on business.
Each time we get up and talk, he's working this room. Look at him. Look at him. But he wants his resolution for his father to be respected. Vasquez, Lopez, all them want their people to be respected, but they can't even give us the dignity for what we built. But them, ain't no question about it. Yeah, Black History Month, the American descendants of slavery. And I want you to know, Brandon Johnson, I understand what Breakmore's saying about we still on the plantation, but what you looking at right now, this is what a free Negro look like. And I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back. We're going to stand for our people. We're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there. Anytime they can't give us 3 lousy minutes of their attention while we sit here and watch y'all get them all kind of money, you watch us. We Black out here, and we gonna handle our business. You watch that. I'm a free Black woman. This how each time we get up and talk, he's working this room.
B1. Like I said, people ain't putting up with it no more. You cannot sit here and just deprive our community and continue to deprive our community and then put funds everywhere else. So everyone else outside of our community is being elevated while we're sitting here being deprived and being pushed lower and lower into the lowest depths of society. Like my brother said, he works a 40-hour-a-week job and he's homeless because he can't afford the damn rent. This is why reparations is a must, and this is why we ain't letting nobody scurry into our goddamn reparations claim, because nobody else deal with the stuff that we deal with. Everyone in their accomplices, aiding and abetting. Everyone else are accomplices. They are aiding and abetting. So it don't matter who's inside of that seat, to be honest with you, because the message isn't going to change. The bootlicks can switch up but the message of the black grassroots will not. It remains the same, and that's why we don't have leaders. Y'all like to unalive our leaders and think that, okay, that'll take care of it. So now, the message is the leader. And the message won't change, even though the face that speaks about it will. And they ain't gonna like it. They're gonna continue to hate it. They're gonna continue to try to find ways to discredit what we're saying or downplay what we're saying and make it seem like we don't know what we're talking about, when in actuality, we are standing firm. We are 100% correct, and they can't move us off of our square. And that's what they're gonna hate more and more about us as this continues. As this continues. So don't be surprised. Oh, no. It's a good thing. Because as the article states, they're having a very hard time getting this out there to the polls for representation. Because they ain't representing us. Because they house puppets, house Negroes, handkerchief heads. And the reason why they're kept around. I found a good clip that explains why these people are kept around. Let me just go ahead and play that so that you guys can hear it from the horse's mouth.
We have a good set of Negroes here, and they don't want to be disturbed. They really are. I have one that I just love. She nursed my children for about 6 years, and I wouldn't have her want for a thing if I found out that she needed something. And I was right amused when my daughter from Arlington, Virginia came down. She was one of the children that Missy had nursed. And I got my son to drive us out to see Missy. And she had also nursed him. And his little boy was in the car with us. And when Missy came out, she said, "Look at my children." And she put her arm right around William's shoulder. And the little boy just looked up at her, He didn't know what to make of it. And I said, "Listen, Billy, she was a mother to him for a while. I tell you, she helped nurse him." And so that's the association we had with them. And I presume we have a good set of Negroes here.
That's exactly why they're kept around. She told you in the first few seconds. Then she gave you some rigmarole about some story, whatever. But her first few seconds said everything.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
That needed to be said.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
And she know exactly.
We have a good set of Negroes here. And
why she's saying it.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
Shelia Jackson Lee.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
Cory Booker.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
Jim Clyburn.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
AOC.
We have a good set of Negroes here. And they don't.
Brandon Johnson.
We have a good set of Negroes here. And they.
Eric Adams.
We have a good set of Negroes here.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. With that being said, family and friends, I just want to remind you all, don't believe the hype, because they might say something in one paper, but then you read another and they'll tell you the truth. Because the truth of the matter is, they're trying to fool you. They're trying to get you to believe that other people are going out for them so that you can say, hey, you know what? If everyone else is going to vote for her, maybe she's not that bad. Democracy's on the line. If democracy is on the line, then you should have no problem cutting that check then, right? I'm just saying, you trying to get your constituents out, your main base. You have no problem cutting the check for anybody else. You've been cutting the check for the past 4 years. We've been seeing all the checks that's been cut. All the checks that's been cut. But yet you want to sit here and tell us that we should vote for you because of the low employment rate, which is the fictitious number. The unemployment rate. Black unemployment is at as low as it has ever been. It's a fictitious number. It is a number that doesn't represent the overall of anything. It doesn't tell you about the people who falls out of eligibility. It doesn't tell you about the people who just stopped looking for work. It doesn't tell you about the people who just start businesses. Oh, no. Black unemployment, though, is the lowest that has ever been. And each president uses this talking point. And as I said once before, I have a video coming up for that. It'll probably be up next week. Depending. Either next week or later this week. However, it's a fictitious number. They give you nothing but then bring you bull stuff messaging while they're bringing everyone else tangibles and policy. Black Americans get bull stuff messaging while everyone else get funding and policy. It ain't happening no further. It ain't happening no further. We woke up and we're on their heads. We on their heads, pause. We on them so ridiculously tough that they're becoming magicians, Houdinis and stuff like that. We on them so tough that we making sure we're calling out people right there in the middle of these meetings. And making sure that they know, oh, we coming for you. We on them so tough that they try to hide the narrative and switch it. Oh, black people are really mad about Gaza. Black people are really mad about the way these immigrants are being treated. And everything that you're seeing, every time they show us, it is the opposite. Black folk ain't giving a damn about what's going on over there because they don't give a damn about what's going on over here when it comes to us. Black folks don't give a damn about the treatment of these people because they ain't even supposed to be here. They're getting put into our communities and being given everything that we're supposed to be given under our reparations. Funding, housing, policy. But yet they keep trying to switch the narrative. Don't be fooled, family. The narrative is ours. And we create it and we push it forward. Because we're the black grassroots. And that's the purpose of the new black media. To push our voices forward and shut out theirs. Exile those folks far away from the land of the B1 space. and make sure everyone far and wide knows that that person has been exiled from our community. We don't rock with that person. They don't represent us. They can't speak for us. So don't listen to a word they have to say. And if you do, you will be corrected every time you come around a foundational Black American, a part of the Black grassroots. We're just going to flash all this information on you and you're going to look stupid. And if you come around these parts trying to showboat for other communities, it's going to be made about the Black community. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be. Welcome to politics. With that being said, if you are not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified when these videos drop. Hit that like button. Help me beat up the algorithm so we can get this message out to the ears that need to hear. Hit that share button as well. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this situation. How you feel about Shelia Jackson Lee keeping her seat. Do you feel like if Amanda Edwards actually offered Black Americans something, it would have been a different situation? Or do you think Shelia Jackson Lee would have still won whether Amanda Edwards put something in her agenda for Black Americans or not? That's a question I really want you guys to answer. Excuse me. But with that being said, the doors of the church are closed. Peace, family.